Welcome. Today we're going to look at using graphic organizers in biology. First of all, what is a graphic organizer? A graphic organizer is a learning resource that consists of a visual diagram to give a student or teacher an easy way to organize information. There are many forms of graphic organizers, and they are extremely versatile since they can be used in a variety of scenarios. Some examples include concept maps, Venn diagrams, KWL charts, timelines, or three-column note-taking. So why are these graphic organizers useful for teachers? Well, graphic organizers help students generate ideas and make appropriate connections among important concepts. They have the potential to get into students' higher level thinking, as students can use these tools for analyzing and evaluating tasks. They are very helpful because students begin to evaluate and refine their own thinking. For example, Venn diagrams allow students to bridge the connection between the comparisons and contrasting elements. As well, they are extremely flexible and can be used in a variety of situations. They are useful in the writing process, as students can use them to organize their ideas or thoughts prior to writing. They are useful as study aids for students because they organize and summarize all the key information. And finally, they can be used for pre-reading, during reading, and post-reading exercises. The graphic organizer can be used as a tool to get students thinking during the process of reading. And finally, graphic organizers facilitate long-term retention of concepts, since students remember more of what they see and draw than what they read and write. So why are these graphic organizers useful in biology? Well, biology is a subject that contains a lot of different information. Most of this information is linked together and is important for students to know the comparison and contrast. Graphic organizers will help make these connections. As well, they will summarize the information for the students. I think it would be an extreme disadvantage to not give students learning biology a graphic organizer and have them simply read the topic and memorize the information from another source of material. Now I'm going to outline some examples of using graphic organizers in biology. The first graphic organizer example I would like to outline is the KWL chart. KWL charts can be used during lab activities. For example, I've made this chart for a lab that deals with human impacts on the environment. The first two columns are pre-lab activities designed to activate prior knowledge. The first column would ask students what they know about human impacts on the environment, and the second column would ask students what they want to know about human impacts on the environment. The last column is a post-lab activity that asks students what they have learned about human impacts on the environment. This portion gives students the opportunity to reflect on what he or she has learned during the lab activity and draw connections to their prior knowledge. Now on to the example of timelines. I'm using a web-based program called TimeGlider to illustrate this example. The example I've highlighted here is the history of the atom, as it is a topic that is covered in junior high science. An example for biology would have students make a timeline for the history of DNA. But regardless, the timeline will be able to provide students an outline of the various years that each scientist proposed an important discovery to the topic. This is a good way to illustrate information, as it will provide the student with a visual representation of how our understanding of the atom or any other topic progressed through time. Now, TimeGlider would allow students to add YouTube videos or links to further their understanding. However, a pen and paper can also create the same effect as shown here. Concept maps are another type of graphic organizers that help organize the bigger ideas. They are more than just flowcharts, as they will try to link areas within a major topic together. This is particularly helpful for biology, as there are many different ideas that are linked together. Here I've created a concept map using an online program called BubbleUs. The concept map deals with the concept of adaptation. The concept map could be an assignment in which the students would have to create it, or it could be created by the teacher as a handout. Regardless of the method in which it is created, it is an extremely powerful way to summarize all the information that is linked to adaptation. Again, it would not be necessary for students to use an online program to create the concept map. They could just simply make this concept map using a pen and paper. There are numerous different ways to implement graphic organizers in biology classrooms. Graphic organizers can serve many different purposes. For example, they can be used to activate prior knowledge, stimulate interest, organize information, or they can be used as a study tool. As well, they can be used in many different locations within a lesson, such as before reading a text, as an introduction to a new topic, while reading a text, while collecting information, or during a lab experiment. I have highlighted 3 different scenarios in which it can be used in a biology classroom. The KWL chart could be useful for almost any lab experiment. A timeline could be useful for highlighting the history of the atom or history of DNA. And the concept map can be used to highlight big concepts such as adaptation. And there is many other ways to use graphic organizers in biology, such as the images that are being shown here. Overall, graphic organizers will help students organize information and retain the knowledge they need to succeed in biology.